a small nation that has a big, big goal that inspired to innovate and make the world a better place. That inspired to innovate and make the world a better place. We shall become the world number one. We shall become the world number one. Smadu.
You're welcome, viewer. We are continuing with our training, this Center of Creative Intelligence 2050, and we are learning music, or music theory instrumental as a way of getting ourselves equipped in the years to come, and we know that our world is getting very creative. So we've been studying some elements of music, and we've talked about pitch, and we've tried to break down a pitch, what we mean by a pitch, and we have also tried to define rhythm in one way or another. And today we want to introduce what we call the musical stuff, very, very introductorily, because we may not exhaust in one lesson, but we want to introduce and try to make it as simple and as understandable as possible. And basically, I will begin by saying that when we talk of the stuff, this is where you blend now the two or more main elements of music. Okay, that is where that's where they now meet together, because we talked about the pitch separately, we talked about the rhythm separately, so they come together and meet the score or the stuff, the musical stuff. And what is a stuff? A stuff is a way of writing or notating music. Notating means writing musical notes. And this is something that has been developed over the years. For many years, if you look at the music history, there are many ways that people wrote music. Even in the very primitive, technology, people had a way of writing music or writing pitches. And there are some studies that have been done on various ways in Africa, in Europe, in Asia, all those ancient civilizations. There's a way they were doing music. And also in Western, because nowadays most of music we do is Western. Also in the Western music, we didn't just begin with a score as it is. All right. It's a result of a lot of work that has been done, studies, and a lot of development. In fact, initially we now have 5 lines, but initially they used to have 4 or less lines for a score. So basically, when we talk about staff, it is a set of 5 parallel lines. 5 parallel lines. Okay. These ones are handwritten. They may not appear to be so parallel, but the staff is a set of 5 parallel lines. Okay, with a clef, what we call a clef. I've not drawn a clef. I'll do that after I have break it down a little bit and you understand what it means. With a clef at the beginning, within which musical notes are written. We talked about musical notes, which are called musical pitches, of course. And we talked about the rhythm. Previously, we said it's a duration of time on a particular note or a particular beat. So when you write the musical notes or pitches, various pitches, and then also in various durations, meaning with a given rhythm, then that is when we get the musical stuff. So it helps us to write music so that we can store and keep it and be able to interpret it later, all right, in a more standard way, all right. So we get music in form of pitch and in form of rhythm. And let me begin by saying the clefs, as you see it, this is just this is one set of 5 parallel lines. So when we have one set of 5 parallel lines, and it is a staff, then one set is called a clef. Like that. One set. So when we have several sets, okay, is when we call it a staff, the staff, right? Either one or more. So we can have 1, we can have 2, we can have 3, we can have 4. It depends with what you are writing, right? And sometimes you can combine a number of clefs, right? So that you have what we call a grand staff or so. So a clef or the staff will be used to write music both for the voice and for the instrumentals. Okay, so when we have one set of 5 parallel lines, we call it a clef. And how do you identify a certain clef? There are always symbols that tell us what kind of a clef it is, because a clef is defined by the pitches, then whether the pitches are high or low. Okay, so when we have a certain category of pitches, given pitches, being the ones that are used for a certain music, then we say they are on a certain clef. And we have different types of clefs which have different symbols to identify them. Number 1, we have what we call G clef. G clef. G clef has a symbol written like this, and this is the most popular. Almost everybody knows about a G clef. This is a symbol of a G clef. Okay, and when we talk about G, I said last time, it is a certain pitch. Okay, so we are going to identify why does we call it G clef. Why does it have such a name? Alright, but for now, just know that we have what we call a G clef with this kind of a symbol. It looks like a G and it goes all the ways up and then it comes down. And then we place it here on the 5 parallel lines to qualify to be called a G clef. Then we also have what we call B, F clef. Okay, let me go back a little bit and say G clef is also called the treble clef. And that should remind you that in the initial lessons I talked about the treble. When you talk of higher voices, you get treble or soprano voices, if I may use that word. But treble clefs are higher pitches. Okay, so when we see G clef or treble clef, means they're higher, it registers, it helps us to pick higher pitches, maybe for voice or instrument. Right? So F clef can also be called the bass clef. So whenever you see bass, you also again know this means lower pitches or lower notes or lower music. We call them lower registers. Alright? F clef is also written with this kind of a symbol with the 2 dots. Right? So it's called the F clef or the bass clef. So we have 2 basic types of clef. We have others. We have, of course, another clef called the C clef. It's not in so much use. I think we are going to illustrate it. So, but for the sake of our basic understanding, let's remain with these 2. We have C clef and we have other clefs also that have been used over the time. But for now, we can just have these 2. So if I want to make this clef to be G clef, I will come here and from the second line, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Okay, from the second line here, I will draw my G clef which emerges from the second line. Then I coil this shape of a G, bring it all the way down, touches a little bit, and then way up, touches the uppermost line, and I bring it down and I tilt it a little bit like that. So I think we can practice people do it differently, various ways, but this is a basic way of doing it. Okay, just make sure that it comes the way down. Like that. Of course, hand drawn may be a little bit different, but we still have the same basic design of a shape. That is what we call a G clef. So you can practice doing a G clef when you have 5 parallel lines and the clef symbol itself. Okay, practice doing it from the second line from down. This is the second line. This is line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we basically just want to understand how to do the G clef. That is how you draw it from the second line. In the next lesson, we are going to learn about naming the lines of a clef. But for now, we just do a bit of practice on drawing a G clef from the second line going the way up. Thank you so much for following us, and please keep it here. Now we are going to develop it a little bit more so that you understand and get to know what it's all about music. Thank you. God bless you.